One takes advantage of the principle of definiteness, just as one may build a strong physical body, through constant, systematic use. Is that it?
You have stated the truth clearly and accurately.
Welcome back to River Queen Conjure, Oshun Ajay Exclusive, and No Narc Network TV. I am the Oracle, Oshun Ajay. We're on lesson 16 of Dissecting the Devil, you guys, and I want you to keep in mind going forward that as we dissect the devil, we are also dissecting the psychological profile and makeup of the narcissist, okay? And so as we describe the manipulation tactics that the devil uses to trap people into the loop of hypnotic rhythm, we are also, describing the tactics that the narcissist uses, okay, to trap people into the loop of hypnotic rhythm. Okay, I'm not going to hold you up, guys. This is lesson 16. Let's get it.
Now I think we are getting somewhere, Your Majesty. We have at long last found a starting point from which all who become self-determining in life must take off. We have discovered from your astounding confession that your greatest asset is man's lack of caution, which enables you to lead him into the jungle of indefiniteness through simple bribes. Simple bribes. Simple bribes. Simple bribes. We have learned, beyond the question of doubt, that anyone who adopts definiteness of purpose as a policy and uses it in all of his daily experiences cannot be induced to form the habit of drifting. Without the aid of the drifting habit, you are powerless to attract people through promises. Is this correct?
I couldn't have stated the truth more clearly myself.
Go ahead now and describe how people neglect their privilege of being free and self-determining through indefiniteness and drifting.
I have already made brief reference to this principle, but I will now go into more minute details as to how the principle works. I shall have to begin at the time of birth. When a child is born, it brings with it nothing but a physical body representing the evolutionary results of millions of years of ancestry. Its mind is a total blank. When the child reaches the age of consciousness and begins to recognize the objects of its surroundings, it begins also to imitate others. Imitation becomes a fixed habit. Naturally, the child imitates, first of all, its parents. Then it begins to imitate its other relatives and daily associates, including its religious instructors and school teachers. The imitation extends not merely to physical expression, but also to thought expression. If a child's parents fear me and express that fear within range of the child's hearing, the child picks up the fear through the habit of imitation and stores it away as part of its subconscious stock of beliefs. If the child's religious instructor expresses any form of fear of me, and they all do in one form or another, that fear is added to the similar fear passed to the child by its parents, and the two forms of negative limitation are stored away in the subconscious mind to be drawn upon and used by me later in life. In a similar way, the child learns by imitation, to limit its power of thought by filling its mind with envy, hatred, greed, lust, revenge, and all the other negative impulses of thought which destroy all possibility of definiteness. Meanwhile, I move in and induce the child to drift until I bind its mind through hypnotic rhythm.
Am I to understand from your remarks that you have to gain control of people while they are very young, or lose your opportunity at them altogether?
I prefer to claim them before they come into possession of their own minds. Once any person learns the power of his own thoughts, he becomes positive and difficult to subdue. As a matter of fact, I cannot control any human being who discovers and uses the principle of definiteness.
Is the habit of definiteness a permanent protection against your control?
No, not by any means. Definiteness closes the door of one's mind to me only as long as that person follows the principle as a matter of policy. Once any person hesitates, procrastinates, or becomes indefinite about anything, he is just one step removed from my control.
So anytime you are hesitating, procrastinating, or being indecisive in any way, you are but one step away from being under the devil's control, okay? So I need you guys to be mindful of this going forward.
What has definiteness to do with one's material circumstances? I want to know if one may acquire power through definiteness of purpose without inviting destruction through the law of compensation.
So you can't really state the law of compensation verbatim because it can be expressed in many different ways. It basically states that you can get what you want out of life if you help others to get more of what they want out of life and less of what they don't want, okay? So it's basically stating the immutable fact that the universe will compensate you for your service to others, okay?
Your question limits my illustrations because there are so few people in the world who understand, and there have been so few in the past who understood, how to use definiteness of purpose without attracting to themselves the negative application of the law of compensation. Here you are forcing me to disclose one of my most prized tricks. I am bound to tell you that I eventually reclaim for my cause all who escape me temporarily through definiteness of purpose. The reclamation is made by filling the mind with greed for power and the love of egotistical expression. Until the individual falls into the habit of violating the rights of others.
You start talking about Cardi in his text, what happened?
Nah, that's what happens when you talk. Bitch, come here. Bitch, come here. Bitch, come here.
One to all units. Second floor terrorist unit ASAP. One to all units. Second. You got him? Yeah, I got him. Hang tight.
Let me see how I get
Then I step in with the law of compensation and reclaim my victim.
So I see from your admission that definiteness of purpose may be dangerous in proportion to its possibility as a power. Is that true?
Yes. And what is more important, every principle of good carries with it the seed of an equivalent danger.
That is hard to believe. What danger, for example, can there be in the habit of love of truth?
The danger lies in the word habit. All habits, save only that of the love of definiteness of purpose, may lead to the habit of drifting. Love for truth, unless it assumes the proportion of definite pursuit of truth, may become similar to all other good intentions. You know, of course, what I do with good intentions.
Is love for one's relatives also dangerous?
The love for anything or anyone, save only the love of definiteness of purpose, may become dangerous. Love is a state of mind which beclouds reason, saps willpower, and blinds one to facts and truth.
So as we go forward, I just want you guys to remain mindful of the fact that we are, as we dissect the devil, we are also dissecting the psychological profile and makeup of the narcissist, okay? So basically, the narcissist believes that love is a state of mind that clouds reason, zaps willpower, and blinds you to the truth and to the facts. This explains their use of the various manipulation tactics that they use based upon them seeing you being a loving being as a weakness, okay?
Everyone who becomes self-determining and gains spiritual freedom to think his own thoughts must examine carefully every emotion that seems even remotely related. Examine carefully every emotion that seems even remotely related. Examine carefully every emotion that seems even remotely related to love.
Examine carefully every emotion that's even remotely related to love, because
love is one of my most effective baits. With it, I lead into the habit of drifting those whom I could attract with nothing else.
So with love, empath, the narcissist/devil can lead into hypnotic rhythm those who would not be attracted to anything else. Okay?
That is why I have placed it at the head of my list of bribes. Show me what any person loves most, and I will have my cue as to how that person can be induced to drift until I bind him with hypnotic rhythm.
It is quite problematic to see how empath and narcissists form a love bond. Here is how. 1. Empaths are attracted. Some people can identify narcissists, but empaths only see good people in front of them. That is why they are easily attracted by narcissists, especially if they are really the empath type.
So being all-inclusive and non-judgmental, empath, is seen as a weakness by the narc who considers you prey. My advice would be to just be very discerning about who you share your energy with, okay?
2. Empaths trust the narcissist. We all know that narcissists are good wordsmith. They will make sure the empaths to have special place in their heart with their words. Empaths believe that, unfortunately.
Because you are not a liar, empath, you don't expect other people to lie. The narcissist sees this also as a weakness. But because you're also very intuitive, empath, I would say run it through your own internal lie detector before you accept anyone's words at face value.
3. Empath likes to share their time. They are willing to share time while the narcissist actually only want to absorb their time and energy.
Because the narcissist does not respect your time or energy, you should not be wasting either of these precious resources on them.
4. The attack starts. The narcissists start their attack to empaths by making them feeling weak, desperate and foolish.
When the narcissist verbally attacks, a simple response of "to each his own" or "I'm sorry you feel that way" can keep the whole conversation to a minimum.
5. The empaths still put faith. Empaths are giver and healer. They know that there is a problem with their partner, and they struggle to keep everything fine.
When you accept once and for all that you can't help the narcissist and that they are not interested in helping themselves, you'll realize that nothing is going to change, and it'll be easier for you to make the decision to walk away.
6. Understanding pain. Instead of looking at their pain, empaths only look at the narcissists who always show themselves as victims.
If you are brave enough to reflect upon the horrors that you've been through at the hands of this devil, you will be able to put in proper perspective your own pain in relation to the narcissist who is just playing the victim as a manipulation tactic to avoid taking responsibility for the pain that they've caused you. Okay?
7. Empaths start to realize that narcissists have consumed the empaths slowly. However, they still do not make move. They love the narcissist.
Self-love, empath, is the key to manifesting only that which reflects back to you the love that you have within. Okay?
8. Undetectable. The empaths cannot see whether the narcissist have changed. Meanwhile, they still feed the narcissist's care, love, and devotion.
You do not see the darkness, empath, because by nature you look only at the light. You have to open your eyes wider and refocus so that you can detect and reject the devil that many of you are sleeping with. Okay?
9. Unfulfilled emotional needs. The empaths start to raise their voice because they do not get what they deserve, that is love.
True love, empath, is not something you have to force, beg, or fight for.
10. The empaths are satisfied. The narcissists are quite happy when the empaths start fussing around. They are ready to drown them into miserable fate.
The narcissist is pleased when you are upset.
11. Empaths finally unleash their anger. However, The narcissists will play the victim again. They also tell that empaths are crazy for demanding such love.
When your unvalidated pain turns to anger, it will be used against you by the narcissist.
12. Empaths get confused. That is all because they have put all the efforts, but the effect is not as expected. They start blaming themselves as the effect.
Because you think you're dealing with a sane person, you begin to wonder if you are part of the reason why the relationship just is not working.
13. Still do not know of being manipulated. The empaths are in confused state. They hope that there is a circumstance that tells the narcissist that they have done something wrong.
Because you have no idea of the level of insanity with which you are dealing, you still have hope that the narcissist will learn through trial and error to be a better person.
14. Empaths still try to communicate. However, it always fails, and the narcissists will just blame the empaths.
Due to the lack of reciprocation in your relationship, you are constantly giving and not receiving. This is experienced as breathing out, but not being able to breathe back in, resulting in a panic attack.
15. Being calm. Despite of the chaotic mind, empaths still manage to self-evaluate. This is a stage before transforming.
Due to the self-reflection that you do in efforts to grow from your pain, you begin to see yourself from a different perspective.
16. Empaths are natural healer. Fortunately, they can help themselves in this miserable situation.
It may seem, empath, that you could not or cannot help yourself out of this situation, but due to your natural inclination to help others, this is where your healing will come. As you minister to others, the Spirit will be ministering to you, through you, empath, and in turn, you will also be fulfilling your purpose for being here on this earth plane.
17. Empaths finally realize narcissists are not worth for their love, support, and care. They realize that narcissists have different motives in life, and that just cannot be fixed.
Your life's work being naturally motivated by your love for others, empath, will lead you to tell them the truth about themselves, to lead them to see their own beauty and their own value. And as you teach this self-love to others, empath, it will also be bestowed upon you. There is, in fact, a method to the madness, empath.
18. Realizing more. Empaths realize that they are in bad situation. Fortunately, they can make a move by doing positive activity.
The more positive that you can keep your thoughts and emotions when you're not being tormented by the narcissist, the harder it will be for them to trigger you when they are not in good spirits. And the higher that you continue to vibrate, it will be impossible for them to vibrate in the same world as you. A magical set of circumstances orchestrated fully by Spirit will cause this to be made manifest in 3D.
19. Painful awakening. Finally, the empaths learn something new. This experience will be unforgettable and it is time to move on.
After you have literally fought the devil for your own soul and won, there will be a time of healing.
20. No effect on narcissists. Just like what everyone expected, narcissists will just walk like nothing happened.
The healing process entails you finally fully accepting the fact that the narcissist is incapable of loving and therefore never really loved you.
21. Narcissists will move on. They also will find another victim.
You will also move on, empath. You will love again. There is life after the narcissist.
22. Empaths will be stronger. They start to be wiser, stronger, and more cautious. They also can heal people with the same misery as them back in the day. All in all, that's the how relationship between an empath and a narcissist work.
The purpose for your journey to hell and back, empath, was never about the narcissist. It was always about you learning to love yourself The narcissist was but a reflection of the deep hole within your own soul. And though this relationship, if we should call it that, was more painful than anyone can ever imagine, empath, there was a very beneficial purpose for the pain. The journey was one of self-love and self-realization. The devil's advocate, the narcissist, in their sick, demented, sadistic way, did facilitate this lesson for you. And so the challenge, empath, is to now see the transfer value in what you have learned, so that you can fulfill your purpose, which is to help others who are coming behind you, who have no idea why it must be that they take this lesson. The even bigger challenge, empath, is forgiveness. It's forgiveness. We will speak more about this in lesson 17. This ends lesson 16, my people. Thank you all for sharing this time and space with me. And until we meet again, my people, keep it classy, keep it clean, and do what you gotta do to make shit happen. Peace.